Hi everyone, Louis from Spectora here. Happy New Year! 2023 is going to be a great year. Hey, remember when you were too busy to get into marketing work? Well, now is the time. It's the slow season and there's going to be a lot of changes this year in the real estate market. So doubling down on your marketing is going to be more important than ever in 2023. And because of that, we're going to give you 23 marketing ideas for 2023. Now, some of these marketing ideas are stuff that you may have heard before. Other ones are kind of outside the box. A lot of them are digital, and we have some more traditional ones as well. If you want to read the full article with all 23 of these in more detail, you can go to the Spectora blog and you can check out the article, 23 Marketing Ideas for 2023. All right, let's get started. I'm gonna go through these kind of rapid fire because there's a lot to get through. 1, crash an open house. So an open house is a place where your two client bases converge, real estate agents and actual homeowners and home buyers. If you can get to an open house, you can leave some business cards, introduce yourself to some agents and maybe even some potential homeowners. That could be a good use of a couple hours on a Saturday. 2, join a local chamber of commerce. Most cities or municipalities have a chamber of commerce and real estate agents love these things. You'll meet a lot of agents there. It's a great way to introduce yourself to a large group of people, pass out cards, share your website, talk a little bit about yourself and your company. 3, host a lunch and learn. Now this is something that a lot of people do for real estate offices. You can go, you can buy them lunch, and then you can do a presentation on some things to look for in home inspection. You want to think about how you can add value to real estate agents, tell them things they don't already know. If you offer something that's valuable to them, it makes it more likely they're gonna hire you later. Join a BNI. Okay, so BNI, the Business Networking International Group. These are groups that they have chapters in almost every city in the country, really similar to a chamber of commerce. It's a place where you can meet other agents, a lot of people from home services industries, and you can feed each other leads and referrals. The cool thing about BNIs is that there's only one professional from each industry allowed in every chapter. So if you join a BNI chapter, you know that you're gonna be the only home inspector there, and you'll have sort of exclusive access to the other people in the chapter and giving each other referrals for business. Connect with other home service companies in your area that you do not compete with. So if there's an add-on service that you don't offer, like a radon testing inspection, then you can find companies that do offer those services. You can network with them, and instead of competing with them, you might be able to help each other with leads, referring business to each other. Connect with realtors on social media. So it's no secret that realtors are hanging out on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and other social media networks. That's where they are, and that's where you need to be. When I say connect with them, what I mean is send them messages, comment on the content that they produce, and really try to engage with them, not sending them cold direct messages that is the same for every single realtor. You know, take the time to try to establish a relationship with them, and over the long run, it'll pay dividends. There's a lot of inspectors out there that get almost the entirety of their business from social media, from Instagram referrals. It's absolutely possible if you're willing to take it seriously as a platform and invest the time into it. Share local real estate updates. Don't underestimate your knowledge as a home inspector. A lot of times we defer to agents when it comes to talking about the real estate market, and you don't have to do that necessarily, but you can always talk about in your town, in certain neighborhoods in your town, what are some of the common defects you're seeing, what are some things that you've observed about the state of homes. That's gonna be valuable to agents and homeowners. Create educational content for agents. So along this line, how do you deliver your expertise as a home inspector to agents? Well, you can do things like you can start a video blog on YouTube, you can post content on your social media, you can have a newsletter. There's a lot of ways that you can deliver a steady stream of helpful content to potential clients. Write monthly blog posts. Now, a lot of people say they're too busy to write blogs, and I get it, but remember, blogs don't have to be 2,000-word novels. You can write short, informative blog posts that are, 300 to 500 words. They're simple, they're to the point. Remember, just like you don't want to write long-form content, probably your clients don't want to read long-form content either. If you can write something that is helpful and skimmable, you can use a blog post in so many ways. You can use it to email to your clients. You can make a video post talking about the blog, kind of like what this is right now. There's a lot of ways you can stretch blog content, and it's a good idea to get in the habit of doing. Send digital holiday cards. Hey, sometimes a small caring gesture will go a long way. Holiday cards, even for minor holidays, can be a helpful way to just stay on top of someone's mind, stay in their inbox. It also helps you personalize. If you write a personal note inside of them, you can send it digital, or if you want to really go the extra step, you can send a traditional holiday card and you can drop it off at their office or mail them to them. Hey, if there's one thing you want to have really going strong in 2023, it's a good quality website. Remember, your website is often the first point of contact for realtors and home buyers, so you want to make a really good impression. And what we've learned is that even if you have a client that is referred to you from their realtor, they're still gonna go and check your website just to verify that you look like a legitimate company and that you're professional. So if this is something that you've been meaning to do, make sure that you have a good quality website. It is gonna be your bread and butter this year and in all the years following. Write a newsletter. So if you're making video content and blog posts and you feel like you're making a good volume of it, you could package it all together in a newsletter and email it out to your real estate agents. You could do this if you're a Spectora user. We have a new mass email tool. You can email your agents outside of any inspection event, and this is a great way to get started with that. Buy a vehicle wrap. So what's cool about a vehicle wrap is it's a one-time expense, but once it's done, it is gonna work for you around the clock. Every time that you're driving through town, you are doing some form of marketing. We've talked to a lot of home inspectors who said they've gotten notes in parking lots while they've been in Home Depot getting equipment, and they get back out and there's a note with a phone number on a vehicle. This could be a really good investment, and it's a good way to just passively continue marketing all the time. Get a custom uniform. I know a lot of times home inspectors don't want to think about branding, but it is important. When you show up and you look professional, it does make a difference, even if people don't necessarily comment on it. You can order several polos with your company logo on it. It's not that big an expense, and in return, you just get a more professional look. It could be an investment that pays off. Share inspection content on Instagram and TikTok. So we talked about connecting with other professionals on social media. Part of that is sharing your own content, and you can share inspection-related content. It's a great way to educate consumers. Think about ways that you can make the content entertaining as well as educational. There's a lot of bad videos out there on social media of inspectors that are talking about, a valve on the hot water heater. Think about ways to turn the camera around, show your face so that when someone watches it, they can get a sense of what it would be like to work with you professionally. And don't forget to smile and be funny too. I could work on that myself. Host webinars. Listen, there's a lot of real estate offices that when you do lunch and learns with them, you may get, sort of sparse attendance, but one alternative is you could host a webinar. This will work great if you want to hit a wide number of realtors. If you live in a major, metropolitan area, something like that, you can host a webinar, you can take their questions live, and it would be really good for their schedule. You can host it, in the afternoons when they're getting off work. It's easier for them to make it on their phone instead of commuting back to the office to see a home inspector presentation. Get those Google reviews. Now listen, if you've been inspecting for a while, you know that reviews don't just happen. A lot of times you have to do 10 inspections to get one Google review, but it's worth it to be aggressive when going after your Google reviews. It is going to directly impact how high you show up on search engines, and that is really important when you're marketing to homeowners. So make sure that you solicit reviews after every single inspection. You can do this with Spectora with automated emails. You can send them emails to remind them to ask for reviews. They can do it really easily in their client portal. You can remind them of that. It's not going to be too much work for them, and it's going to really help you out if you're willing to be aggressive and go after them. Try paid ads. So there's a big misconception about paid ads that they're just something that you sink a ton of money into. But really, a lot of modern ad platforms like YouTube and Google and Facebook, they do allow you to control your spending by setting a hard limit, setting a daily limit, things like that. It can be a great way to reach, 1, 2, 3,000 potential customers for just a couple $100. A lot of times the other hidden benefit of using paid ads is you get a lot of information about your market and about your demographic when you see who's clicking on your ads, what areas they're coming from. That can be really helpful when deciding where to focus your efforts in your area. Go above and beyond in your inspections. Never underestimate the power of word of mouth referrals. And the best way to do that is to think about how you can create the best possible inspection experience. I think a lot about Ben Gromyko. He gave little tips about he wants to be standing in the driveway when the homeowner gets there with his ladder on top of his truck, because it presents an image of a professional inspector who's ready to go. And when he gets done with the inspection, he always leads them back to the kitchen so he can go over his findings with them. He thinks a lot about how to create a good experience, how to be reassuring to the homeowner, and because of that, he probably gets a lot of referrals. Sponsor a local event. If you have it in your budget, you could sponsor a local event. This is a great way to kind of give back to the community. You can be highly visible while you're doing this. And hey, a touch of altruism is always going to be a good thing too. Rent a local billboard. Now I know what you're thinking. Who's renting a billboard in 2023? But honestly, you might be surprised at how affordable it is to rent a billboard because less and less people are doing it. It's hard to demonstrate your return on investment with that, but I guarantee you, if there's 10,000 people that are frequenting a local highway and every single one of them is seeing your face, the math is just gonna work in your favor that one of them will be a homeowner, a home seller, a realtor, and they're gonna remember your name and face. Start a YouTube channel. So a lot of people are intimidated by writing blogs, or they don't feel like writing blogs aligns with their skill set. An alternative is you can start a YouTube channel. A lot of times you can film videos very quickly. They don't have to be super high quality. You can do them just on your regular phone. And the key is just volume, constantly producing content. Over time, it's just like any other investment. It will start to pay off, and it's also very shareable content. You can make videos for your YouTube. You can put those same videos on your other social media channels. You can embed them on your website and blog posts. You can really stretch that content far on a platform like YouTube. Do some volunteer work. If there's volunteer opportunities in your local town with a local charity or church organization, it might help to get involved. One, it probably would just be a good thing, but two, you can always network, you can meet new people, and if you're embedded in your community, you're more likely to get work from your community. Okay, I hope that was helpful. I stopped counting at a certain point, but I'm pretty sure I hit all 23 marketing items. I'm gonna put a link to that article in the description below, and have a great 2023, everyone.